The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says that seatbelt use is on the rise. Laws, education, and technology have increased seatbelt use from 11% in 1982 to nearly 85% in 2013, saving hundreds and thousands of lives. Yet, about 1 in 7 people still don't buckle up. I was one of those people who chose not to buckle up. I was aware of the choice I was making and that it was safer to use your seatbelt. However, I just assumed I was never going to be in an accident, and so I would never have that problem. On April 24th, 2018, I learned just how wrong I was. I was in an accident where my seatbelt and my daughter's seatbelt potentially saved us from having major injuries. My 5-year-old daughter was still in a 3-point harness at the time. I made sure she was buckled correctly every single time. However, I did not practice the same caution when it came to myself. I never wore my seatbelt. That day was just the same. I wasn't buckled up. About 5 minutes from my destination, I had this overwhelming sense that I needed to buckle up. So I did, and within 2 minutes, I was in an accident. I was stopped on a street, turning left, waiting for traffic to go by, and a car came and rear-ended me going about 65 miles an hour. My car was turned 180 degrees into the oncoming lane. There was a lot of damage. My back seat was basically in my front seat. My car was totaled completely. The other driver was distracted. I remember looking up in my rearview mirror and seeing her headed towards me, and I just, it didn't even click in my head before the impact occurred. My daughter and I, we just had minor injuries, whiplash, some bruising, some marks from the seat belts. It took me a couple minutes before I realized what happened, but then I called 911. When the EMTs arrived, they decided that we should go to the ER because my daughter was having some chest pain, which turned out to be nothing. But they made sure to tell us that the reason that we didn't sustain major injuries was because of our seatbelt and the fact that my daughter was buckled up correctly. Based on the impact, we could have hit the windshield, been thrown from the car, and then obviously we would have had a lot more injuries. In the ER, my mom reminded me of a few things to help me remember why it's important to always wear my seatbelt. When I was younger, my 16-year-old brother, he was older than me, he got in a car accident and his seatbelt saved his life. He flipped his car, he sustained major injuries, had many staples to his head, and they were sure that if he was not wearing a seatbelt, he would have died in that accident. And then my daughter's father actually passed away from not being buckled in a car accident. He was thrown from the car, his truck rolled over him, and he sustained major injuries that ended up causing him to pass away. So based on my experience and others that have been close to me, I recommend that we all wear seatbelts all the time. They do save lives. I encourage you to wear your seatbelt every time you're in the car, no matter how short of a drive it is, no matter where you're going. Encourage your passengers to do the same. And per the CDC, seatbelt usage is on the rise, but everyone should be wearing a seatbelt all the time.